Guys, welcome to prepsarate.com. This is Ged Mathematics, and today we have a very interesting skill that I want us to learn, that is arranging fractions and decimals in order. Before I continue, just subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you visit our website every time so that you can get all your academic needs satisfied. We do online teaching, we also offer tutorials, and once you switch into prepsarate.com website, you're going to get everything that you need in as far as GED, mathematics, and other sciences and subjects are concerned. I want to first of all say something small about arranging fractions and decimals in order. Remember, you may be given a set of numbers that can be fractions or decimals, and you're told to arrange them in order. We have two orders. The first one is ascending order. Ascending order. And the second one is descending order. Descending order. A little explanation is in ascending order, you're arranging the values that you're given from the smallest to the largest. While in descending order, you're arranging from the largest to the smallest. So in most cases, you'll be given a set of data that is not arranged, that are not in order. So you will be required to determine which one is the largest, which one is the smallest, and then you answer the question according to how you've been asked. Now, I'll give you examples. Maybe give you the first example. Example 1. Example 1 reads, arrange these fractions 1 over 3, 2 over 5, 3 over 4, and 1 over 2 in ascending order. That is from the smallest to the largest. What we are going to do here, my learner, is we shall look for the LCM of 3, 5, 4, and 2. And what is LCM? This is the common factor or multiple. Some people are calling it LCF, and F stands for factor. So when we talk about LCM, this is a number that will divide all these values without having a remainder perfectly well to make what we call rational numbers. So we have a very common formula for calculating the LCM. We shall write the numbers 3, 5, 4, 2, then draw a vertical line like that and another horizontal one like this. We start from the smallest. Actually, the smallest of all is 2. So we try 2 and see whether we can be able to divide all the values by 2. 3 cannot perfectly divide 2, so it remains. 5 likewise cannot divide 2 perfectly, so it remains. But 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. We are eradicating these numbers one by one so that we get the common least common multiple. We again do 2 because we are not yet done with 2's. 3 not yet, 5 not yet. The 2 cannot divide 2 perfectly, so 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now from 2 we move to 3, just according to the numbers that you're given. We'll write 3 here. 3 divides 3, you get 1, but 5 cannot perfectly divide 3, so it remains as 5. Finally, we write 5 because now it is the only value that is remaining, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. So if you want to get the LCF of these numbers 3, 5, 4, and 2, this is the method that we shall apply, and we multiply now 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 5 is 15. Then 4 times 15 is 60. Our LCM has been found, 60. LCM 60. Now what we do next, we want to convert all these fractions into numbers that you can easily determine the largest and the smallest. So we will multiply, we shall multiply all the values, multiply all the fractions by the LCM, which is 60. And that one is a very easy step. So we shall start with a third. Let me use a different ink. Start with a third. 1/3 times 60. This one gives us 20. Then next we say 2/5 times 60. By 5, 1, by 5, 12. And 12 times 2 is 24. Then 3/4. 3/4 times 60 again. By 5, 1, by 5, 15. That is 15 times 3 is 45. And then finally 1/2 times 60, which is by 2, 1, by 2, 30. So we have the numbers 20, 24, 45, and 30. These are the numbers that will help us understand which is the largest fraction. For example, 45 is the largest of all these numbers, followed by 30 downwards, but the smallest is 20, followed by 24, like that. Now let us arrange corresponding fractions to these numbers. We now use the numbers to arrange the fractions in ascending order. From the smallest of all these numbers is 20, and so now we are writing the answer now. 20 is the smallest number, and the corresponding fraction is 1/3. So the smallest fraction is 1/3, comma. 24 follows, and it corresponds with 2/5. So 2/5 is the next. We're going upwards. 20 done, 24 done. We now move to 30, which is 1/2. And finally, of course, goes without saying that 45 is the largest, and the fraction is 3/4. We have answered that question of arranging the fractions into in ascending order. The steps were very short and very precise. We looked for the LCM or the LCF, the least common factor of the denominators. Then we multiplied that number, which was 60, by all the fractions to come up with these numbers that can easily enable us arrange the fractions. In our second example, we are going to write decimals. We are going to do a question on decimals. So we shall have 0.2, 3.5, then we have 0.6, and finally 1.6. These are decimals only, and the question is arrange in descending order. Arrange in descending order. So this is a very short one, and the procedure is, first of all, convert all the decimals into into whole numbers. So in this case, count the number of decimal places in each. I think it is 1 decimal place, 1 decimal place, 1 decimal place, 1 decimal place. So we can remove the decimals by, solution. We remove the decimals by multiplying each of the values by 10. In other words, we'll multiply all of them by 10. So 0.2 times 10, 3.5 times 10, 0.6 times 10, and 1.6 times 10. Reasons: we want to make all these numbers rational in such a way that we can easily determine which one is the largest and of course which one is the smallest. 0.2 times 10 is 2. 3.5 times 10 is 35. Then 0.6 times 10 is 6. And 1.6 times 10 is 16. So 2, 35, 6, and 16 can easily be arranged starting from 35 all the way to the smallest is 2. Now, if 0.2 corresponds with 2, 3.5 corresponds with 35, 0.6 with 6, and 1.6 with 16, then it is easy to start from the largest. The largest is 35. Now the new numbers that we formed. However, that is not answering the question directly. From the largest, we go to 16, which follows as number 2 largest. And then we go to 6 and finally 2. So this one is only helping us to arrange the decimals that we had. So in answering the question now, 35 corresponds with 3.5, so 3.5 is the largest. Followed by 16, which corresponds with 1.6. Followed by 6, which corresponds with 0.6. And finally, 0.2 as the smallest. We have answered the question of arranging these numbers in descending order from the largest to the smallest. Example 3, very interesting. Arrange the set of numbers below in ascending order. The numbers are 1 over 4, 0.5, 3 over 8, and 0.9. In this case, this is a mixture. This is a mixture of decimals and fractions. So we shall have two methods. The first method is we shall convert the fractions into decimals to have a uniformity. And then the other method, we shall convert the decimals into fractions. So in the first method, method 1, we need to check on 1 over 4 and 3 over 8. So we convert the two fractions into decimals. Fractions like 1 over 4 and also 3 over 8 into decimals so that they can be uniform with 0.5 and 0.9. In this conversion, I will teach you the shortest method, which is application of the long method of division, whereby 1 divides 4. 1 divided by 4. So this one gives you 1 is less than 4, so you can't divide it directly. You start with 0 point, then you add a 0 here. 10 divided by 4 is 2 because of 8, then we remain with 2. You add another 0, then 20 divided by 4 is 5. In other words, 1 over 4 can be written as 0.25. If you use your calculator or even this long method of division, you get this one. You get 0.25. What about 3 over 8? 3 divided by 8. So 3 inside and then 8 from the outside. In this case, we shall say 0 point, because of 3 being less than 8, we add a 0 here. 30 divided by 8 is 2. 3 because of 24, 3 because of 24, and you subtract downwards, you remain with 6. So we remain with 6, we add a 0, and then we look for a number that we can multiply by 8 to get something that is closer to 6. I think it's 7, because 8 times 7 is 56. And then we remain with 4, you add a 0, and now 40 divided by 8 is 5. Then that is what you get. So 3 over 8 can be written as 0.375. So we have the two fractions, the two decimals. We also combine with the rest of the decimals. So we shall have a quarter, or 1 over 4 written as 0.25 that we have already found up there. Then there's 0.5. Then 3 over 8 has been found as 0.375. And finally 0.9. So the business of arranging these decimals into in order, we will multiply across by the largest of all the decimals. For example, This one has 1, 2, 3 decimals. So we multiply by 1,000. We multiply by 1,000 across for uniformity. By 1,000, by 1,000, and by 1,000. What do we get? If you multiply 0.25 times 1,000, 2 zeros shall push the decimal to the end here, and then the one that remains will give you 250. Then there's only 1 zero that will push the decimal, the rest are going to remain. So 500, this one gets finished to 375, and finally 0.9 gets to 900. So the 250, 500, 375 and 900 are good numbers that can enable us arrange the corresponding figures. Now from here we can see the smallest is 250, which corresponds with a quarter. Because we are arranging the whole set of data in ascending order, I will start with 250 and the correspondence is 1/4, like that. Followed by, from 250 we go to, I think we're done with 250, we go to 375, and 375 corresponds with 3/8. So our second largest value, smallest to the largest, will be 3/8. We are moving up. After 375 we go to 500, which corresponds to 0.5, 0.5. And finally the last one, now the largest, is 900, that the corresponding value is 0.9. We have answered the question of arranging these values in ascending order. That was method 1 of converting all these fractions to match the decimals. Let us see when we convert the decimals into fractions. Alternatively, that is method 2, ALT stands for alternatively, we'll convert 0.5 and 0.9 into fractions. That is to say, 0.5 can be written as 5/10. Reasons: there is only one decimal place. And 0.9 can be written as 9/10 because there's one decimal place. So you count the number of decimals and then you remove it from the numerator, you divide by 10 because it is one decimal place. So we can further simplify 5/10 by 5/1 by 5/2. So 0.5 can be written as 1/2 and 0.9 can be written as 9/10. Let us now feed them there for uniformity purpose. So our data is now, all the values are put in fractions. We have got 1/2 for 0.5 and 9/10 for 0.9. Now this step, the coming step, the next step is the most easy one, the easiest one. And what we shall do is we shall look for the least common factor of 4, 2, 8, and 10. The procedure is the one that I showed you. Now the LCM of 4, 2, 8, and 10, those are the denominators of the fractions that we have, shall have this vertical line here and the horizontal one. We start from the smallest, which is 2. The least is 2, and 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 8 divided by 2 is 4. I think I showed you this in the first example. And then 10 divided by 2 is 5. We are not yet done with 2's. We write another 2 here. 2 divided by 2 is 1. That one is complete. 4 divided by 2. I skip 1 because already it has been eradicated. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 5 divided by 2 is a bit impossible because we cannot get a rational number. So we again write 2 because there is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And now we are left with 5 again. So the last one is 5 here, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. So we are dealing with all the values so that by the end of the day, we multiply these 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 to get the LCF or LCM. So the LCF, least common factor, is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 times 5. 4 times 2 is 8. Times 5 is 40. So our LCM, our LCF is 40. Our fractions: 1 over 4, 1 over 2, 3 over 8, 9 over 10. The LCM for 4, 2, 8, and 10 is 40. So we multiply all of them, but of course each at a time by 40. So we shall start with 1 over 4 times 40. This one is 10. 40 divided by 4 is 10. We move to the next one. 1 over 2 times 40 by 2, 1 by 2, 20. So this is 20. We go to 3 over 8 times 40 by 8, 1 by 8, 5. So 5 times 3 is 15. And finally, 9 over 10 times 40. 0 cancels with 0. 4 times 9 is 36. So the corresponding values for these fractions are the ones we shall use. The ones that we've just found are the ones we shall use in determining which is the largest and of course the smallest. And in this case, I think I would want us to go back to our fractions. Remember, this a half was 0.5, right? 0.5. And this 9 over 10 was 0.9, 0.9. 0.9. It's good we go back because already we have used the fractions to find these values. Now from it was about arranging in ascending order. So we start from the smallest. The smallest is 10. The corresponding value for the smallest is 1 over 4. Followed by 15, which is 3 over 8. And next from 15 we go to 20, which is 0.5. And finally 3 over 8, finally 36, which is 0.9. Perfectly well. The same answer we got in this second method is the answer we got in the first method. As we sign out from this video, thank you very much for watching our video. Stick to prepsaret.com website, and please always make sure you follow us. We tutor online. We have a lot of tests for you. And please, as you prepare for your GED exams, find time to visit our channel and website. Goodbye. See you in the next video.